So, hello and welcome everyone, it's your boy Logic and we're back with another live stream / trailer reaction. I hope you're all doing very well. Today we have Grand Cathay vs Tzeentch, the Great Bastion battle. Now this is going to be a 9-minute video. I have absolutely no idea what it's about. It got dropped today, didn't get announced particularly at all. But what I'm going to do, we're going to hop into it and see what it's all about. Now we're going to see here a couple of you are looking forward to Tzeentch a little bit more than Cathay. That's quite interesting. So I'm really excited for this. I've been enjoying all of the content here that the guys at CA have been putting forward. Simon obviously dropped this today, and yeah, it's been looking great. I've been enjoying all of the Siege stuff that they've put forward. I've been enjoying all of the trailer reactions, and just seeing all of the content that is. It just looks insane. Like I'm loving Cathay at the moment. I'm on the Cathay side rather than on the Tzeentch side. Just I love those kind of like sort of living human factions. I'm not too sure why. It just seems to be the thing for me. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a great day. Of course, do feel free to just say hey so I can see who's here today. But yeah, hopefully this will be great. So let's jump into it and let's see what it's all about. I don't know if there's anything else extra after this. I think that they normally do something after this, where there's sort of like an FAQ where we can go through. But if there isn't, maybe we'll just go through the videos. Let's have a little look and let's see what it's saying. Disclaimer, this footage was captured from pre-release version of the game. Okay.
The Great Bastion, more than a wall, a symbol of everlasting defiance, is
So good.
besieged. Demon armies in service to Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways, have amassed at the Snake Gate, the Turtle Gate, and the Dragon Gate.
Got a big changer
a
there.
three-pronged attack to overwhelm the wall and corrupt the lands of Cathay beyond. Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon, defender
looks
of
really
the
cool.
northern provinces,
I'm a big fan of her.
master of the storm winds, and supreme matriarch of Nangao, rides with her army to once again drive back the Chaos God's advances. The
This looks-
Snake Gate,
this
one of
looks
3 heavily
beautiful.
fortified gateways bridging Grand Cathay and the Chaos Wastes. A fortress built into the Great Bastion itself, and a key defensible position for Miao Ying.
Just gonna quickly pause it. I feel like in the main game, with the new mechanics and things, the Grand Bastion here could be insane to try and attack. I think it's going to be phenomenally difficult in single player, especially on legendary and these kind of very high difficulties. I think attacking things like this Grand Bastion is going to be nigh on impossible with just a single 20 stack. I think you're really going to have to have a massive strategical plan to get into a place like this.
Seldom do the demons breach it, but when they do, Grand Cathay is plunged into suffering.
Oh,
If
interesting.
chaos is not stopped here, it's the
What is that? That was something I want to know what that
beyond
is.
that will
What is
suffer.
that?
Best to face these demons head on in a fortress
I love
built
these
for
balloons.
defense,
Got two
than
different
to allow
types.
them to encircle and besiege any one of Cathay's majestic
Oh, my
cities.
favorite. My favorite. Let's
Should the
go.
unthinkable happen, Cathay is not indefensible. Chaos
Yep.
will find every inch of every street hard fought and shielded every step
You
of
can
the
see
way.
those multi-layers
The
that they were
Dragon
talking
Emperor
about.
would expect no less from his loyal subjects. Miao Ying is the firstborn of the Celestial Dragon Emperor and commander of
Okay.
the Great Bastion. She is the Storm
there's this like
Dragon
elite spears and
expertly
shields.
wields the law of Yin to both smite her foes
Okay,
and
so
grant
she's gonna be
boons
Yin
to her
then.
soldiers.
She kind of floats. I imagine she's going to be quite quick, like on foot.
Grand Cathay at its core approaches war defensively. Centuries spent beating back the endless waves of chaos has taught them to covet the delicate balance between soldiers
Hey,
and the
I forgot what this is
unparalleled
called,
strength
but that
of
looks so
magic
cool.
and black powder. Unbreakable lines of spear and swordsmen to hold back the hordes, whilst archers, crossbowmen,
Actually thinking about this with Cathay being quite a heavy spear and halberd faction with just a bucketload of gunpowder behind them and crossbows that have like good armor like quarrelers, you know, you're going to expect them somewhere in the 60 to 80 armor range, good missile range as well. You're going to be expecting something about the 160 range. Crossbows, pretty decent armor piercing, although they're not actually going to have armor piercing particular stats. They'll have relatively good armor piercing for majority base weapon damage. They're going to be very strong and very good defensively. I think in the multiplayer scene, they might suffer the same as Dowie, the fact of lacking mobility, but they do have some units that can move, and they have artillery that can move at some speed, it seems, as well.
wizards, artillery,
which is insane.
And war machines decimate from afar.
Depends how fast these are.
This is yin and yang.
These balloons all depend on what sort of health they got, what sort of mobility. They look very tall, they look very awkward, they look like their actual mobility side to side is not going to be so great. So jostling things like missiles could be a problem. These things could just drop to artillery.
Harmony between Cathay's combatants, giving heart and order in the face of horrors untold.
I like these gold
So
ones, they look
in
cool.
tune with the winds of magic are Cathay's wizard kind, that the mere presence of another user bolsters magical potency. This elemental mastery rings true for 2 wizards as it does for 10, making Cathay's magical prowess a thing of deadly wonder.
They seem to have done that with Tzeentch as well.
They'll need in earnest to survive the coming storm.
That's really awesome that if you have more wizards together, they're going to become more powerful. Maybe you get things like more power regen there for mana. Maybe you'll also be getting more mana in general. That should be really interesting, especially if you have yin and yang as well, seeing how they interact.
Kairos Fateweaver is the insidious architect of this assault, and is heralded as the wisest of the Lords of Change. Cast into the Well of Eternity by Tzeentch, Fateweaver emerged with 2 heads. The left scries the past, while the right foresees the future.
Interesting.
Thus, the Oracle of Tzeentch sees both the road ahead and the path behind, but is rendered blind to the present. The demons of Tzeentch
That's really
march
cool.
forward,
That's
their
really
legions
cool.
unfathomable as they shake the very
These
ground
Hellspawn
with
are
their
also
approach.
something, aren't they? They are something.
Fateweaver relies on a powerful array of ranged and flying lesser demons to chip away at and harass the great Bastion,
Those things are
whilst
so
hammering
fast
it
and
with
so annoying.
horrifying spells from afar. But given the fortress walls to hunker behind, Cathay has the rare advantage in a toe-to-toe ranged standoff this day. To counter, Fateweaver deploys a host of melee demons
Oh
to
my
soak up
God.
the limit.
What was... I need to go back. What was that? That was a crawling beastie boy for sure. Let's go on that.
Of this day. To counter,
What is this?
Fateweaver deploys a host of melee demons to soak up the
That looks
limited pool of
crazy.
Miao
We got
Ying's
blue horrors, of
ammunition.
course. These guys are so
To
funny. I
aid in
love
their
them.
approach,
This
these
looks so
foul demons
awesome.
possess a shield of magical energy that
Hey,
Cathay's
everyone, how we doing?
desperate defenders must first shatter before the
I love
creature
these
beneath can
big
be
guns here
wounded.
behind the massive
The
shields.
drums of war thunder, and
Yep.
the invasion begins. The approach is tough for Fateweaver, whose forces are hammered by Cathay's
Those, walls
great
look
cannons
very
and
defensive.
fire rain rockets. These deadly artillery units can devastate an approaching army, demolishing the morale of even the most hardiest of men. But demons don't possess such mortal weaknesses, and it's
Nope.
the peasant archers and the Jade Warrior crossbowmen who must chip away at the
Jade
endless
Warrior
hordes
Crossbowman, that's a
approaching.
cool name. That is a cool
Nearby
name.
Celestial Dragon Guard and Jade Warriors create a harmonious battlefield for their ranged allies, making these warriors of Cathay fight all the harder in the name of their Dragon Emperor. But it's not enough. Miao Ying, sensing the impending fall of the outer wall, lends her magic and abilities to the fray. She casts Talons of Night to cover the retreat of her archers and crossbowmen, and Wrath of the Storm to bolster the might of her readying Jade Warriors.
Let's go.
Meanwhile, Kairos Fateweaver instructs his minions to bring down the fortress gates. To ensure his
What is
own
this
survival,
thing?
he
What is
selfishly
that?
casts Oracle of Eternity
That's
to reinforce
insane.
his resistance, and Gaze of Fate to counter Miao Ying's boost to her Jade Warrior's effectiveness.
Is that a pin? Is that a net? That looks a little bit like a net. Maybe.
The fortress is breached, and Tzeentch can almost taste Cathay beyond the Bastion.
This thing, what is this? I want to know what this is. This looks really interesting. I have never seen this before. Let's go see if we can go back a second here. What is this? This is something, isn't it? Look at that. That's incredible. I'd love to know what that is. If anybody can tell me. Yo, what's
But Miao
up?
Ying
A
isn't
soul
done
grinder.
yet. She falls
All
back,
four Chaos Gods will have
retreating to her
them on loads.
barricades,
Okay,
where already
okay.
crossbowmen and archers are docked to cover the exodus.
That looks interesting. What does a soul grinder do
Kairos'
in lore?
foresight makes him a hard beast to outmaneuver, and he didn't take the western path as Miao Ying had hoped he would. She orders her barricades to be deconstructed and rebuilt
No, the
in the east
peasants.
of the fortress, where the demons are making strong headway.
Interesting.
From here, Miao Ying knows she's entering a war of attrition. She's dedicated key hardpoints to fall back to, and can now only hope she has the manpower to defeat Fate Weaver's forces before her own
Yeah,
are
so they put like
overwhelmed.
spears in front of the barricades. That's interesting. Guess you could just keep shooting more, maybe. Guess it adds a bit of extra thickness to the walls. Shots coming over the top though from those
It's an
horrors.
arduous and bitter battle, and forces Miao Ying all the way back to her last line of defense. Here is where the battle is
Oh, that
won,
looks cool. That
or
looks like
the
a Searing Doom
Bastion
sort of
falls.
effect there.
Fate Weaver's forces are dwindled but not defeated, and Miao Ying has only a fraction of the
Terracotta,
brave
let's
men and
go.
women she began with.
Oh, the Duel of the Ages. Come on. Oh, we want to see more.
With little other choice, she calls upon her greatest of powers and transforms into her namesake, assuming her dragon form.
I think that's going to be a period of time you can turn into that. That's going to be insane. That is going to be insane to use. That is going to be so goddamn good.
In the face of such raw power, Kairos Fate Weaver and his legion of demons are overwhelmed and routed. The Changer of Ways' blindness to the present has lost in the battle. But surely he knew this defeat
He looks
would
very
come
good
to
as well, to be
pass.
fair. The design, the detail is really good.
Snake Gate stands firm, and Miao Ying the Storm Dragon, defender of the
So,
northern
is there anything
provinces,
special about
master
Snake
of
Gate
the
that you guys
storm
can tell me
winds,
about? Is there
and
anything special?
supreme matriarch of Nangao, emerges victorious. But an unease settles within her gut. Tzeentch is the architect of fate, the changer of ways, and such an all-out assault is not indicative of his servants.
That is so cool. That is so goddamn
Though the Snake
wicked.
Gate was a victory, Miao Ying cannot shake the feeling that the day's events have heralded a changing
I wonder
of
if
the
he's going to
tide.
be unbreakable as well.
Fresh threats are awakening,
Maybe.
and the fall of the Turtle Gate shows that the Great Bastion's resilience may not be as certain as once thought.
Okay, so that was very, very interesting. We got to see a few more of the mechanics there in the game. We also got to see quite a few more abilities and items, and they talked about specific spells. We saw the alchemy there. We saw some sort of Searing Doom going down there. There was quite a few different effects in there, so we'll jump through very quickly. I did pause a little bit on the way. We'll go through it one more time, and we'll drop through little points and go through discussions. But what do you guys think so far?
The Great Bastion.
What do you guys think so far? Are you guys excited by this? Are you guys... What's the thing that you are looking forward to? What is the thing that you are most excited for from either Cathay or there from Tzeentch? So let's see what you guys are saying. Still annoyed that the unique ability on tabletop granted 40k for the horrors splitting the... I mean, that is a 40k ability, right? So... I'm not too sure. I think just blue and pink horrors are going to be separate entities here. Pink horrors to blue horrors and blue horrors to brimstone horrors. Doesn't look like it will be. Probably not, I imagine. If you think about that from a mechanic for Warhammer, at least for multiplayer, that would be pretty savage. That'd be like zombies, but on steroids. Soul Grinders, known as Harvesters of Souls, are a massive sentient demon engine created for the sole sake of killing and collecting souls to remove himself from its metal prison. Oh, okay, so is that metal prison given by Tzeentch, or what's it given by? Looks lit for siege battle. Yeah, I think these Grand Bastions are going to be like, so if you think about the gates, so for the Donut of Doom there, for the High Elves, they have their gates around the outside. The gates are really defendable. I'd give them at least a 9 out of 10. I think, the more and more I think about it, the better and better I think about them when they're at their top tier stage. They're very hard to take down. They've certainly already got that multi-stage attack. You've got the front walls. They drop by into that little square that you have to flank round into two siege points, into two sort of choke points there. This is looking incredible, especially you've also got the extra mechanics on top where you can add walls in the city, you can add traps, you can add all of these things. So that should be interesting as well.
Bastion, more than a wall, a symbol of everlasting defiance.
You've got two different types of balloons.
Demon armies in service.
So you've got these big balloons here with the big squares, and you've got balloons that also have like 2 little circles. They look like they're going to be different. One of them looks like a dropper, whilst the other ones look like they have cannons
Tzeentch,
on.
the changer of ways, have amassed at the Snake Gate, the Turtle Gate,
They look
and
incredible.
the
They
Dragon
look
Gate.
incredible.
A 3-pronged attack to overwhelm the wall and corrupt the lands of Cathay beyond. Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon.
Her armor is insane. Look at this. Her claw as well on the right hand. Just everything about Cathay just reminds me of the High Elves. The detail, the architecture, just the beauty of everything that's been designed. It is absolutely well and truly incredible. It is insane how well designed it is. The campaign for these is going to be really, really exciting, and I can't wait to jump into it.
Defender of the northern provinces, master of the storm winds, and supreme matriarch of Nangao, rides with her army to once
Be nice if we could see a bit more of Nangao.
again drive back the Chaos God's advances. The Snake Gate, one of 3 heavily fortified
I mean, look at this. Look at it. It looks incredible.
gateways bridging
this is
Grand
just from
Cathay
one
and the
angle.
Chaos Wastes. A fortress built into
Just
the
the
Great
details
Bastion itself,
everywhere.
and a key defensible position for Miao Ying. Seldom do the demons
at them,
breach it,
look at
but
them.
when they do, Grand Cathay is plunged into suffering.
I'm not going to lie, I generally think the Terracotta Sentinels are like my favourite thing at the moment. And this, what is this? Does anybody know what this is? Hey, Cocoa Puffs. She look like she'd be such a cool character. Yeah, man, I reckon Coco, I reckon she's going to have some amazing lore. We can already read up quite a bit about her, but she is certainly a badass for sure. Hey, Pat, I feel like the balloons will kind of suck. They just seem too slow. Yeah, I kind of agree. They're certainly going to need some level of support to at least function. But if you can get them to function, I reckon they'll be insane. But only if they are supported very heavily. But because they have to be supported heavily, could really hinder the remainders of the army. But I really want to know what this is. This looks like some sort of... it looks like some sort of piece that maybe you can
Chaos
bust
is not
troops
stopped
around.
here. It's the lands beyond.
I don't
that
really know
will
what this
suffer.
is. Is this actually something? Is because you can get the you can get that piece for the Bretonians, right? Which is oh no, now I'm gonna have to remember what it is. But it gives immune to psychology and plus 12 leadership in a meter radius. I think it's 55 meter radius. No, I can't remember the item. But is that going to be something similar there with that? Is that going to be some sort of buffing station? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, Swiss. If my head's gone, I can't think of what I'm talking about there. It's the dead knight that they're holding up and the 2 peasants are running with it. It's the... oh, God. I can't remember. But
to face these
maybe that's going to be
demons
something
head
similar.
on in a
Yes, there we go. So we've got the 2 little balloons there and the big one. I reckon the big one here is like a bomb drop, and the other one here is going to have a cannon on it. I think the cannon ones could be useful. If you manage to get flank on, then you could shoot down the lines. The bombers, you're going to have to be in their face, so that could be a problem.
to allow them to encircle and besiege any one
These
of
look incredible.
Cathay's majestic...
I mean, look at this. Look at it. How can you not be excited for this guy? I'm going to have like 4 or 5 of these in my army. I don't even care. I don't even care.
Should the unthinkable happen, Cathay is not indefensible. Chaos will find every...
So here we got also, you can see we've got not just one, we've got 3 different overlooks over the city. Also, they're going to be great choke points that you can certainly set up. So for example, on these steps, if you just have spears alongside, they're going to be fighting, even if it's just a little bit, they are going to be fighting uphill on the front line, as you're just going to be, hitting downhill, and then you'll be able to, shoot over the top, and you'll be able to pin units in. Yeah, it's really going to make it beneficial for you, for sure.
Of every
It's where you can
hard
really
fought and
control the speed of the battle
every
into
step of the way.
your
The Dragon Emperor would expect no
whatever you
less
want it
from
to
his
be.
loyal subjects.
Be really cool in the defense, and I'm going to say this now. I know it's probably not going to happen this way, but you can see we've obviously got the Terracotta Sentinel in the middle. If these Terracotta Sentinels in the, or at least the architecture in the settlements, I wish you could those could turn like defenses. They could turn into Terracotta Sentinel like summons. So if they go past a specific point, they then become alive and they start fighting. Now that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Jets.
It's almost like a
Miao
trap.
Ying is the
Like a
firstborn
trap.
of the Celestial Dragon Emperor and commander of the Great Bastion. She is the Storm Dragon.
That's really
and
cool the way she's
expertly
moving.
wields the lore of
She's moving very way the same as the Ice Queen. The way she kind of slides and surfs there. She's doing very much the same. She's going to be using her magic. We said Yin, her lore of Yin. Oh, it's right below. Yep. She's the Storm Dragon and wields the lore of Yin. We don't really know anything about Yin yet. I
Yin to
don't
both
think.
smite her foes and grant boons to her soldiers.
So it seems that she has attacking spells and buff spells.
Grand Cathay at its core approaches war defensively. Centuries spent beating
Brand new archers here. We don't know. I think from what we've seen from pictures, you could just have general defensive archers that look pretty much the same stat-wise as peasant bowmen there from Britannia. So they're going to be pretty cheap, pretty cheerful. And we know just how powerful they are in the current multiplayer scene. Of course, they are almost a staple as well on the legendary side of things. You know, pox arrows and 5 arrows are very strong for multiplayer as well. So
back the endless waves of chaos has taught them to covet the delicate balance between soldiers
I love these.
and the unparalleled strength of magic
they're not
powder.
They're not as good as Little Grom, but they're
Unbreakable
good.
lines of spear and swordsmen.
Unbreakable lines of spears and swordsmen. I don't know if it's meant to be unbreakable lines of spears and swordsmen, but I don't know if they actually mean that. But if these units are unbreakable, I don't know.
To hold back the hordes.
That could be
whilst
strong.
Archers, crossbowmen, wizards,
Yep.
artillery,
So
and
cool.
war machines decimate from afar. This is yin and yang, the harmony
well.
between Cathay's combatants, giving heart and order.
And look at these crossbows. Look at these crossbows. God damn, they're gorgeous. The armor's very nice as well. This is heavily armored. This is at least 80 armor. At least 80 armor.
In the face
We've seen some weapon pieces from Skaven got to 100 armor as
of
well.
horrors
So
untold.
possible.
So in tune with the winds of magic are Cathay's wizard kind, that the mere presence of another user bolsters magical potency.
I like that a lot.
This
I
elemental
like that a
mastery
lot.
rings true for 2 wizards.
So I think that's going to help with power recharge rate, and that's also going to help with, you know, just extra winds of magic. So obviously the more wizards you've got together. It seems to be the same for Tzeentch as well. You know, they talk about having multiple wizards in the same army when we went through the discussion. So that also looks very, very interesting. I think here Grand Cathay and Tzeentch are going to be very heavily magic orientated, while Tzeentch is going to be aggressive, and we're going to be quite defensive here for Grand Cathay.
As it does for 10, making Cathay's magical prowess a thing of deadly wonderment, which they'll need in earnest to survive the coming storm. Kairos Fateweaver is the insidious architect of this assault, and
This
is
is so cool,
heralded
his
as
story.
the wisest of the Lords of Change.
So I know in lore he specifically always searches out knowledge, period. Because of his lack of knowledge in the presence, he always looks for written knowledge or any sort of knowledge he can find in the current world.
Cast into the well of eternity by Tzeentch, Fateweaver emerged with 2 heads. The left scries the past, while the right foresees the future.
So that I didn't know, and that's really cool. That's
Thus,
really cool.
the Oracle of Tzeentch sees both the road ahead and the path behind, but is rendered blind to the present. The demons of Tzeentch march forward,
My little blue
their
horrors.
legions unfathomable as they shake the very
Chaos
ground
Spawn
with
as
their
well that look
approach.
terrifying.
Fateweaver relies on a powerful array of
said this was
ranged
a,
and flying lesser
yo,
demons to chip
the
away
two-headed
at
magical
and
duck, indeed,
harass
my
the
friend,
Great
indeed.
Bastion, whilst
Indeed.
hammering it with horrifying spells from afar. But given the fortress walls
the
to hunker
staffs as well.
behind, Cathay has the rare advantage in a toe-to-toe ranged standoff this day.
Yep.
To counter, Fateweaver deploys
This thing. What did we say that was? You said that was a soul grinder. Unit reveal said the warrior compass was a spellcaster type with the long range bombardment. Oh, okay.
a host of melee demons to soak up the limited pool of Miao Ying's ammunition. To aid in their approach, these foul demons...
This looks cool. This looks, that is something I'm excited about. He looks wicked. So you said he's entrapped in this metal until he gains enough souls. Okay, that's
a shield
interesting.
of magical
I know nothing of
Cathay's
Tzeentch
desperate defenders must first shatter before the
I
creature
like these
beneath
sort of
can be
Warlock
wounded.
Giselle units here.
The drums of war thunder, and the
saw those
invasion
from before.
begins. The approach is tough for Fate Weaver, whose forces are hammered by Cathay's great
Yeah, those
cannons
defenses
and
on the
fire-rain
walls, they look
rockets.
very strong.
These deadly artillery units can devastate an
Yeah, so this one's
approaching
got a cannon on the front that seems to
demolishing
has
the
good
morale
burst
of
damage.
even the most hardiest of men. But demons don't possess such mortal weaknesses, and it's the peasant archers and the Jade Warrior crossbowmen who must chip away at the
Jade Warrior
endless hordes
crossbowmen looks so
approaching.
cool.
Nearby, Celestial Dragon Guard and Jade Warriors
Celestial Dragon Guard. That is a name.
create a
That is a
harmonious
name.
battlefield for their ranged allies, making these warriors of Cathay fight all the harder in the name of
Breath
their
attack.
dragon
Was that breath
emperor.
attack from the Fate Weaver?
But it's not enough. Miao Ying, sensing the impending fall of the Outer Wall,
right, so we won't watch the whole
lends her
thing
magic
again,
and
but we'll drop
abilities to the
through.
fray. She casts Talons of Night to cover
here
the
we go.
retreat of her archers and crossbowmen.
So
and to
Talons
block
of Night, you can see the claws coming out. Is that the claws coming out? Is that going to be similar to like a not Awakening of the Woods, Dwellers Below? Is that going to be like a Dwellers Below ability, like an area of effect where they're doing damage? You know, claws coming out of the floor, that sort of thing.
the
That's
storm
what
to
that looks
bolster the
like.
might of her readying Jade Warriors.
Okay. So she, as we said, she has some good
Meanwhile,
buffs.
Kairos Fateweaver instructs his minions to bring down the fortress gates. To ensure his
That
own
looks cool.
survival, he selfishly casts Oracle of Eternity to reinforce his resistance, and Gaze of Fate to counter Miao Ying's boost to her Jade Warrior's effectiveness.
And the walls are going to fall. That's interesting. The wall
The
actually fell.
fortress is breached, and
So before, when you were playing, they would take over those strategic points. But it looks like if they break walls, they actually break down the walls, which is very interesting.
Tzeentch can almost taste Cathay beyond the Bastion. But Miao Ying isn't done yet. She falls back, retreating to her barricades.
Only one more thing I want to
where
see.
Already crossbowmen and archers are docked
Where
to
are they?
cover the exodus.
Here we go.
Kairos's foresight makes him a hard beast to outmaneuver, and he didn't take the western path as Miao Ying had hoped he would. Here is where the battle is
There we
won.
go, that was
The
it.
battle,
So we got-
and forces Miao Ying all the way back to her last
We got
line
this
of
ability
defense.
here. So this,
Here
and look at
is where
that.
the battle is
Yeah.
won or the Bastion falls. Fate
And where
Weaver's
is it?
forces are dwindling,
Where is it?
but
Bring the
not
bad boy.
defeated, and Miao Ying has only a fraction of the
Here he
brave
is.
men and
Let's
women she
go.
began with.
Let's go. Now that is a fight I want to see. That is a fight I want to see.
With
Look
little
at him,
other
man. That
choice,
is so
she calls
goddamn
upon
sick.
Her greatest of powers
And then this.
transforms into her namesake, assuming her dragon form.
What we'll do is we'll leave that there. Well, guys, I've really enjoyed this. This is looking pretty damn awesome. I'm excited for quite a lot of this, to be quite honest. And I think there's going to be a lot of this stuff in Warhammer 3 that is really going to be insane to play, going to be insane to watch. And I do generally think that maybe there could be some elements of multiplayer, even potentially here for siege battles. I think for sure. We talked about this in the last siege battle. I think there maybe could be something here. We've seen a lot of good defensive points. We've now seen a bunch of varying units that look amazing to play with. It looks fun, it looks fast, and you've got good defensive points. And the cities look insane. The cities just look insane. I've loved this trailer. Seeing the Terracloster Sentinel there fighting up against the Soul Grinder. It looks amazing. I've really enjoyed this. I hope you guys have as well. I'm going to leave it there. I can't wait to see what CA are going to bring forward. There's going to be a bunch of new stuff, and it looks amazing. It looks amazing, and hopefully early in 2022 we'll be able to dive straight into it. And I'm actually really excited. I think for sure it's really sad because they've kind of pushed away from Kislev, but I was really enjoying Kislev. I'm really enjoying Cathay. The Tzeentch looks really fun though. It does look really fun. The campaign looks amazing. It looks like it's going to be very magical. Based. It's going to be very lots of betrayal as well. The grimoire system seems really fun. and there's bucket loads to come forward. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please smash that like button, and of course subscribe. If you're enjoying all the content here on the channel, subscribing really does help. Of course, I'm trying to grow towards those 1,000 subscribers. If I do, then I can become a partner there with CA and become a partner with YouTube. So that will really help me financially, and also will help me give you guys earlier access to content. So yeah, thank you very much for all your attention through this time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you guys a little bit later today for some more Warhammer 2. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you there.